Okay, in this video, I'm going to share a really simple technique if you are struggling to get your child to attend to you when you are talking or listen to the directions that you're trying to give. And in some cases, it can be a wonderful calming tool if your child becomes dysregulated, and it also will help keep you calm in the process. For those of you who are new to me, I'm Albiona Rakipi. I'm a parenting coach, and I help parents reframe their daily challenges so you can parent with more joy, ease, and connection. I've been working with kids for over 20 years, and I've always said this, but they are my greatest teachers. So let's jump back into it. This is going to seem really unnatural at first, but I just want you to give it a chance. We want to think about speaking in a really reduced volume, almost a whisper or a full whisper if you would like. You can test out either. And let me explain to you why this works. So we have something called mirror neurons in our bodies. Everybody has them, and what it is when we're talking to somebody or when we're watching something, we often will mirror back what we're seeing without even realizing it. So an example of this is, let's say you pick up the phone, you call your friend answers the phone, and they're in an environment where they have to use a quieter voice. So they answer and they're like, hello. You almost automatically will match their voice and go, hey, what's going on? Even though you don't need to use a reduced volume, your mirror neurons automatically respond that way because they're matching the other speaker in the conversation. So back to this idea of parenting. When I used to be a teacher, I would teach a group of 4-year-olds, and I used to get laryngitis at least once a year as a teacher. And on those days, I used to speak in a really reduced volume or a whisper or even a hoarse whisper, but I didn't ever use a louder volume. Those were the quietest days in the classroom. I should have literally done data on this, but you could have heard a pin drop. And I would continuously say to the kids, you guys can talk louder than me. I'm talking this way because my voice is just resting right now. And it didn't matter. Even though they knew that was the case, they spoke quietly right along with me. They followed every direction. There was a calmness throughout the room that I can't even really describe. I mean, there was amazing what it just did energetically speaking to the space. So now, in the context of parenting, here's what it's doing to you. When you use a calm voice with your child and you are consciously aware of that, you are naturally calming your own nervous system down. So you are innately saying to yourself, I am safe, I am okay, I'm using a really reduced voice when I speak. Secondly, your child is going to be activated with their mirror neurons. So instead of yelling, now what begins to happen is their flight or fight response isn't triggered because you're using a very calm, non-threatening voice. Again, this doesn't mean you're not setting really clear boundaries, but you're just doing it in a really reduced volume. And then the next thing is, if you can reduce yelling from room to room to give directions or from one floor to the other, as I used to do, this will help tremendously. I know there are days where this is probably impossible based on the busyness of your life, but the more you can get in the habit of actually finding the child you're wanting to give directions to, going and then speaking to them in a very, very, very soft voice. I promise you, a whisper is even more effective. They will attend much better. They will likely be more cooperative, and they will respond in a much calmer way to you if you get in the habit of using this voice. So test it out. Let me know how it goes. I use it all the time still, even when I was as a speech therapist, and it was amazing to me. It's almost like magic how quickly it works.